Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, these are the latest news, deals, and free plugins from the music production world. So we've been watching the Native Instruments sale to InMusic, and I think we all knew this was coming and gonna be painful. Back in May, InMusic signed an agreement to acquire Native Instruments after Native Instruments entered insolvency proceedings earlier this year. Both companies said existing tools would keep working, and they plan to keep investing in new products. But now, several reports say around 100 Native Instruments employees have been laid off across a bunch of departments. One former employee reportedly said that the entire customer support team was cut, while other accounts mentioned jobs in software development and hardware. It's unclear how much work is being removed and how much is just being moved over to InMusic. But either way, these are real people losing jobs, and that's the hardest part of this story. For producers, the immediate question is always what happens to support and my long-standing products like Machine, Tractor, and Reactor. There could also be some integration with Akai's MPC platform, since Native Instruments and InMusic were already working together before the deal. But yeah, right now we have more questions than answers. Your software hasn't stopped suddenly working, and there have been no announcements that say that the major product lines are ending. Still, a restructuring this large is worth watching closely, especially if you depend on Native Instruments hardware or their customer support. I'll keep an eye on what InMusic says in the coming weeks. All right, so what if you could hear exactly what Spotify is going to do to your song before you upload your mix? That is the idea behind a new plugin called Nullify. You put it on your master or any other track, and it lets you switch between your original audio, then the encoded version, which will go to Spotify, and something they call the difference signal. That last mode removes everything the two versions share, leaving behind the parts changed by the streaming codec. So you're gonna hear what Spotify is doing to your sound. You may hear things like smeared cymbals, changes in the low end, or little bits of pre-echo or movement at the sides of your mix. Nullify includes several Spotify-style quality levels, including OGG Vorbis. It also has AAC options for Apple Music and Spotify's web player. You also get loudness, true peak, and null depth readings. Now, here's the thing. This does not mean that you should keep changing your master until the difference signal disappears. Lossy codecs work by throwing away audio data, so some change is normal. The better use is to check whether your cymbals, stereo effects, bass, or limiter react in a way that you don't like. Nullify works on Mac and Windows as a VST plugin and also as an audio unit, and as a standalone app. It normally costs $19, but it's free through August 31 with the code BHPlugin2026. If you release music to streaming services, this is definitely worth checking out. All right, this thing looks cool. The Mach Devices MD7 is an upcoming pocket synthesizer with two motorized control discs. These are not endless knobs or something. The resistance actually changes based on the thing you're editing. So depending on the setting, they can move smoothly or have steps that you can feel. The idea is that you can feel what a control is doing without staring at a screen. The MD7 also has a 13-key button keyboard and a small 1.65-inch color screen for waveforms, envelopes, patch names, and settings. It has a USB-C, stereo headphone output, MIDI, microphone input, and a micro SD slot, but the final specs are still developing. And that's the key point here. This product is not finished yet. The company says the interface is still being worked on and full information about this sound engine hasn't been released yet. What makes it more interesting is the open source plan. Mach Devices says the sound engine, modulation system, and sequencer will be open for users to change. So in theory, people could build their own firmware and share new features. The company is targeting late September 2026 for the release, and I'll keep you posted. All right, MusikHack, the company behind the Master Plan plugin, has launched a new online mastering service called HyFi. Now, I've recommended the Master Plan plugin before, but HyFi is made for a different kind of workflow. You don't need to open your DAW, load a plugin, or learn anything. You can upload any audio file, and HyFi processes the track and then lets you try different loudness and character settings before downloading the finished master file. MusikHack says HyFi is designed to preserve the balance of your mix. The goal is to bring you up to a useful level, add some subtle color, and help it translate to different speakers. So who is this for? If you enjoy opening 5 mastering plugins and adjusting all the details, you may still prefer a plugin like Masterplan, and they still sell that. But if you're a singer-songwriter, finishing a track, a producer sending out a bunch of different beats, HyFi could make that last step much faster. There is no subscription. You buy credits when you need them, with pricing starting at like 33 cents per minute, and MusikHack lets you try out the service for free. Yeah, so you can actually go ahead and try mastering a song on their site right now. They give you a bunch of free credits. Check it out, and if you try it, let me know how it handled your track. I want to hear from you what you think of this service. Link is below. Beyerdynamic has a new set of professional headphones out. More affordable, but these are not really trying to replace your current studio mixing headphones. The DT275 Pro is a compact, closed-back, on-ear design made for recording on location, live sound, DJs, and mobile production. The pads sit on your ears instead of around them, so they are smaller than the regular DT770s that many of us know. They weigh just under 200 grams, the ear cups rotate, and the cable can connect to either the left or right side. These have a 45 ohm impedance, so they should be easier to drive from a laptop or a mobile device. The frequency range is 5 Hz to 24 kHz. The cable ear pads and headband cushion can also be replaced, which is really nice to see at this lower price. Beyerdynamic is listing these at $150. These are monitoring headphones meant for using on the go, and I think I'm going to try out a pair. Let me know if you're interested in the comments below. So if you're looking for the new DT275s or any gear for your studio, you can find it on guitarcenter.com or your local Guitar Center store. Whatever you need for your studio, they've got it right here. If you need MIDI controllers, synths, headphones, microphones, studio monitors, and other instruments. Use the link below to get the best deals on guitarcenter.com right now, and let's get back to the studio. All right, now here's an update that almost feels like a new synth. Expressive E has released Noisy 2.6, and it really expands the sounds the plugin can make. Noisy 2 starts with noise and then sends it through resonators. You can think of a resonator as something that gives any noise a pitch and a physical character, kind of like a string or tube starting to vibrate. That gives Noisy a mix of acoustic texture and electronic sound. The new version adds 5 noise sources and 5 new resonator types. There is a unison mode for wide synth sounds, 2 FM modes for bright bells, a harmonics mode, a wave map which lets you move through a wavetable using an XY pad, and a lot more. Noisy 2 also has 2 sound layers with 3 resonators on each, so these new choices can be mixed together. Of course, you can use Noisy with the Expressive E MPE Osmos synth or their controller, but a standard controller also works just fine. The update is free for current Noisy 2 owners, and it's $89 for new users for a limited time. All right, I've got some deals for you, but first, are you thinking about putting your music out there? Well, DistroKid is a simple and fast way to get your music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, pretty much everywhere. And DistroKid collects earnings for you whenever anyone purchases or plays your music. It's simple to use and includes tools to help you build your audience. I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that'll probably answer any questions you have. You can watch them right here. And if you're ready to sign up, use the link below to get 7% off your first year of membership. All right, here are some deals worth checking out. Teenage engineering gear is on sale. The KO2 is currently $299, which is around $30 off. The EP136 Sidekick is $179. This is a small 2-channel mixer, audio interface, and effects box that you can pretty much use with any hardware setup. And if you need a small pair of studio monitors, the Yamaha HS4 is $212 instead of $250. These are some compact 4.5-inch monitors, so they make the most sense in a smaller room or desktop. And on the plugin side, there are a bunch of summer sales ending soon, including UJams, so you can get Subcraft for $19. I'll link to everything from this video below. We attended MixNik last weekend in Atlanta. There were sessions covering recording, mixing, building a home studio business, and so much more. It was great seeing some of you there in person. I hope you got to attend my session about audio engineers who have built businesses in the audio world.
And for those of you who attended my session, yes, I was on a panel with Pilar, Baines, Ken Lewis, Lydia. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And it was so meaningful. So thank you all for attending. And we gave away, we auctioned off a flyer I showed you at the last Sanjay C News. And with it came a free life coaching session. So I thought, why not give away another one? So you get a free session with me. Go to my Instagram, go to the post, the life coaching one, write a comment, DM me, and I'm gonna pick a winner who really, really needs to talk or wants to talk, and I will mail these to you. So you get a free signed copy of Sanjay.
Awesome. MixNik was a great place to connect with others, so look out next year for MixNik 2027. You can learn a lot from YouTube, but being in a room with working engineers and other people dealing with the same creative struggles is just different. So hope to see you there next year. That's it for the news. And if you want to see how Softube is changing the world of mixing with their new hardware, watch the video right here. Keep making the music you love, and I'll see you later.